For the 21-13, we are underway. The Cardinal win that opening tip, and some immediate half-court pressure from BYU shown.
Coach Kumar told us he is going to come out and mix it up defensively. He really wants to put them on their heels, force them to make decisions under duress.
Opening shot is up and missed by Agera, and BYU with the rebound and quickly pushing tempo. Gibb has Cambry Barber. Cannon will give it right back to Barber. Now the entry to the aforementioned Lara Rocco, who wants the cutter, and Barber passes behind her. It is loose. Barber comes up with it and scores it off the glass. Cambry Barber has been a revelation for this BYU team since she was inserted into the starting lineup. The Cougars are 7-1 with Barber starting since that move.
Well, it's because of her length and her ability to be active around the rim.
Post is Eschmeyer, who was fantastic in the Cardinals win in the second round, and they tie it up at 2.
And 6'5", great length. She'll come out, shoot the 3 ball. Very versatile big for Coach Kate Pay.
Sydney Benali, around the world dribble, tried to bounce it to Barber, lost it. Rocco trying to rip it away, and a jump ball is called as Rocco and Eschmeyer tried to pull it away from each other. It will stay with BYU on the possession arrow after Stanford won the opening tip.
Offensive keys for BYU is movement off the ball, continuing to move when you don't have it. That's going to occupy the defense.
2-2 early. Rocco inside on a beautiful entry pass from Delaney Gibb, and the Cougars back in front by 2, a minute and a half into this game.
Made shots allow BYU to set up their full court pressure with 94 feet. They're going to utilize their length.
Skip pass, open 3 is knocked down by Chloe Clardy.
We got a stoppage with the officials. Maybe a warning.
It looks like they're making an adjustment to the game
clock
by 6 seconds, so the clock started late. 3 is still good as we take another look at the entry to Rocco for BYU scoring, and then Chloe Clardy, Kristen, knocking it down.
Clardy, that 3-point threat on the outside, a junior, just about 30%, but very capable. 3-point shooting, not necessarily a strength for the Cardinal. For BYU, they're going to put up around 26 attempts per game. That's good for 23rd in the nation.
Clardy out of Conway, Arkansas, knocks down the first 3 of the game by either team. It's 5-4, Stanford in front.
Great double.
Right into a double as the monster comes. Lucky to get that back out to Gibb. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gibb splits the defense and scores. Delaney Gibb, in the words of her head coach Lee Camard, probably playing with more confidence than she ever has before. But you look at the pace of Stanford trying to answer right back. Haley Swain can't do it, so BYU and Rocco fouled on another drive and pass inside from Gibb. Both of these teams like to run. They're not shy about it. Both coaches said they would do it, and here we have the product on the floor.
And that pace will play in favor for BYU. You're at home. There's an elevation factor, whether you want to address it or not, and we saw BYU's got the depth, especially against Missouri in that second round. They were running the floor, and Missouri started to tire it as a fatigue factor.
Rocco drops in the first free throw. She'll have one more. We're tied at 5. There is Kate Pay in her second season at the helm for Stanford women's basketball, a program that has so much prestige and championship pedigree, trying to get back after a short stint away from the NCAA tournament to a place they're so comfortable in March Madness.
Kate Pay, 2 national titles, one as a player, one as a coach, but grew up around the program. Her older brother, John, played football and basketball, and from a young age was on campus going to sporting events.
Rocco makes both. BYU leading 6-5. So BYU's center delivers on her trip to the charity stripe. You should note that the score box will return to the screen in just a moment. I'll keep you updated on the time remaining and score as we go. 6-5, make it 8-5, BYU lead. And an air ball tried to get saved back in by Agera. And it's
attack from Hamlin, and Hamlin right there on that fine line of getting the foul call. She's got to be careful because Clardy very good at pulling up off that pick and roll action.
Olivia Hamlin lost it on the drive to the hoop. Eschmeyer takes it away.
Good help from Eschmeyer. She's got to protect off that pick and roll action.
And the Cardinal pay it off. Ncaa off the glass and pulls Stanford back within one at 8-7. Gibb, they're loving that pick and roll action off the high screen, but that one a little too tough to handle for Rokel, and an early BYU turnover.
And it's very clear that Coach Kamard wants to get Rokel involved. They want to make Eschmeyer work in that pick and roll action, and Rokel very good in that short roll.
The ball took a fortunate bounce for the Cardinal. Eschmeyer, and look at the defensive hustle by Benali to get back in front of Eschmeyer and force the travel.
That's a tough situation in the one-on-one action, and Benali just a heads-up play. Smart play from the freshman, getting set, drawing the contact.
6:40 to play. BYU with the 1-point lead at 8-7. First turnover by Stanford on that travel. The Cougars with 2 early giveaways. Gibb away from the screen, terminates, opts for Benali. Back on the arc. Now Hamlin, again away from the screen. Hamlin will pull up. Front rim no good, and the rebound tracked down by Clardy.
Oh, defensively, Stanford's allowing BYU to get the paint off the bounce, so that's going to be a recipe for disaster defensively. You can't allow them to get the paint.
Swain gives it away. 3-on-2 for Cannon, who takes it the distance and scores. Brynlee Cannon, 10-7 BYU.
Her initial instinct was to pass the ball, but didn't give it up because you have to read the defense. Don't have in your head what you're going to do before the play happens.
Eschmeyer, a left-handed 3, misses everything. Benali has it fall into her lap on the opposite side. In transition, Gibb. And that one graces the front of the rim. Put back on the rebound is missed by Bull. Third turnover by BYU here in the first quarter. Stanford has given it away a couple of times.
Lee Kamard, former player for BYU, he bleeds blue. I mean, he wants to continue to win. Just remarkable what he's done in his first season, 24-11. Potential to win a 25th game here and get to Wichita for the Final Four.
Courtney Ogden inside, elevates and scores.
Offensively, Stanford very balanced. They have 5 players that average double figures, and that balance is what they need to rely on.
Clardy with the quick hands, pokes it out of bounds from Hamlin, and we'll take our first break. 4:58 to play in the first quarter. BYU with a 1-point lead. Win-up play by Lee Kamard's bunch to take a 3-point advantage.
The pass from Barber, not holding on to it too long. That's a timely pass, or it's not going to be there long. And Rokel keeping it high for the finish.
Ncaa.
BYU mixing it up, going into a zone, showing the zone, and the Cardinals doing a good job getting the ball in the middle. That's where they want to get the ball to break apart the zone.
Gibb intent on taking her drive game to the hoop again and again early in this game. Can't finish there with the right hand. But on the possession before, a lot of Rokel, easy left-handed layup. A beautifully drawn up play by BYU. Hamlin.
What an impact Rokel's been this year. They bring her in as the 1-year transfer, just 1-year eligibility, so senior, but boy, she's been fantastic for Lee Kamard.
Brynlee Cannon's jumper bounces off, and a bump inside, and a foul call.
BYU +6 on the glass. Very active, trying to create second chance opportunities. They come in averaging 13 offensive rebounds. Barber's going to go hard. Cannon's going to go hard. Rokel goes every time to the glass when you see Bolo Yusuf in the game, and that has to be a huge focus for Stanford, boxing out defensively.
Shea Ijiwoye with possession. She was the one that took the bump and got fouled. Ncaa. And a loose ball foul going to go against Brynlee Cannon. Tied up with Mary Ashley Stevenson. So 2 quick fouls on BYU. While we have a moment, let's check in with Cam Clark.
Thanks, Spencer. And that last time out that we had just a minute ago, Lee Kamard's message to the team was if the ball's on the ground, it's got to be ours. He emphasized blocking out, make sure spacing is right so that the team can get their buckets and get back on defense. That's a
50-50 basketballs, absolutely a point of emphasis for Lee Kamard and this BYU bunch. They have thrived on it in this tournament. Easier said than done against the Stanford team that prides itself on winning the majority of those.
Yeah, they got the size advantage in there as well. And so they're going after every ball. They know what's on the line. And, you know, at this point in the season, you don't always get a team or players individually that are excited to keep playing. Obviously, these two teams wanted to make the NCAA tournament. They didn't, but you can end your season on a win. That matters.
Benali cycles to Barber. Barber driving inside, right at Ncaa, creates some space with that left shoulder and scores the easy 4-footer.
She's tremendous off the bounce, defensively drawing one of the tougher defensive assignments every game. Just a sophomore. The underclassmen for BYU. 6 of the top 7 rotational players are freshmen or sophomore for the Cougars.
Right corner 3 and a big one. Courtney Ogden with 5 points for Stanford and pulls the Cardinal within 2 at 14-12.
That's going to help open up the driving lanes if you can knock down 3-point shots, because BYU's forcing them on the outside.
Backdoor cut. Swatted away was Hammond by Eschmeyer. Ball is loose. Rokel fighting for one of those 50-50 basketballs. Her foot ruled on the baseline while she was touching the basketball, and it's Stanford now with possession.
How about this move from Barber? Initiates a little bit of contact just to create an opening with her body, and then Ogden, massive 3-point shot. She's a 37% shooter on the outside.
Trap, Swain. Ogden is fouled on the reach-in by Benali. So BYU aggressive with that half-court trap a few times. Ncaa Martin mixing up a lot of defensive looks early in this game to try and throw Stanford off kilter and put them on their heels. Nearly got a steal there, but Benali does pick up the personal foul.
Stanford 5 for 13 in this quarter. And being just down 2, I mean, the pressure is forcing them all the way to half court until they can really try to get a look, and it takes time off the shot clock, so you're under duress with the shot clock going down.
Benali knocks it off the leg of Aguera, and I thought that was clearly off Aguera and out to BYU, but they are saying Stanford basketball, so now Ncaa Martin is looking at his team to see if he needs to make an appeal, but did that get last touch by BYU? It looks like it did.
Yeah, it looked like it was off the leg of Rokel, and she was the first one to run back, so maybe didn't feel it.
Ogden looking for more, already with 5 points, but that jumper just a little bit long. Barber with the rebound, quick handoff to Benali. BYU in transition.
BYU 12 of their 14 points so far in the paint.
Cannon passes away from the free throw line. Benali to Barber in the corner. Now Cannon receives again. 8 on the shot clock. From 12 feet, Brittany Cannon drops it in.
And Cannon and Barber, with their length at 6 foot, 6'1", and just their ability to put up points. Now they're not averaging double figures, but when they can score and maybe even combine for 15 plus, it's a huge advantage on the offensive side. Takes the pressure off Delaney Gibb.
Ogden got herself open, got a friendly bounce. Courtney Ogden was 7 of Stanford's 14 points. 1:35 to play in the opening frame. BYU with a 2-point lead at 16-14. Benali out the screen from Rokel. Downhill in the paint, spins over her right shoulder, no good. Rokel with an offensive rebound. Hamlin has her shot blocked. Rokel collects, can't finish it. Boy, hands all over the place. BYU relentless, earned multiple opportunities, but unable to finish, and Stanford will take over possession.
You have to applaud the effort on the glass from Lada Rokel. Just so active, positioning herself early when the shot goes up to try to secure the rebound, creating extended possessions for BYU. Those are the type of plays that are going to win this ball game. It's the 50-50 balls. It's creating those extra possessions, whether off the glass or creating turnovers.
BYU continues the high-pressure defensive front. Eschmeyer guarded by Gibb. And somehow that gets through the BYU defense after the pass was tipped. And Aguera scores it off the glass. Tied at 16, under a minute to play in the first quarter.
Good body control from Aguera, and to go up and split the defense.
Benali for 3, in and out. And Barber and Eschmeyer battle for the offensive rebound.
Rokel doing her job to occupy Eschmeyer, and then Barber diving in there. But watch Aguera right here, just scrambling for the ball, and then body control. Keeps the dribble alive, splitting the defense. She has to continue to be active offensively She's a big part of what they do on the offensive side of the ball. 2 of 5. She has 4 points to start this game.
Clardy with possession. Benali pressuring near midcourt. Guerra hands it right back to Clardy. Tough finish with the left hand, and Stanford's in front by 2.
A great composure just to keep that dribble alive, and then it's not easy to make a shot. You got a 6'3" big coming at you.
Gibb directing traffic with the shot clock off. 7 seconds to play in the quarter. Gibb between the legs will dribble back into a 3 and knock it down. Delaney Gibb puts the Cougars back in front by 1 after the Cardinal trail by 1 to open up the second quarter. BYU possession. Bola Yusuf takes the entry pass inside from Gibb. Sends it back out to her star guard. Gibb from 15 feet away. Good. And Delaney Gibb, like Ogden, now has 7 points to lead her team in scoring. BYU pushes the lead to 3.
Gibb playing at such an elevated level, and we've seen it kind of transpire over the last month where she just, the game is really slow for her, and just taking what the defense gives her. Very confident right now for BYU.
Ogden wants Eschmeyer inside. Eschmeyer back out to Aguera for 3. Back iron, no good. Gibb with the rebound, will push. Gibb weaving her way through the Stanford defense to Yusuf, and 1.
So good from Delaney Gibb. And watch, just dancing with the basketball, threads it in between 3 Cardinal, and Bola Yusuf keep the ball high. This is what you got to do when you're post, 6'3", keep it high, go right up, absorb some contact. Gibb is a problem right now for Stanford because she's able just to pick them apart defensively.
Bola Yusuf, the freshman, originally from Nigeria, misses the free throw. Spent some time playing in Japan before she entered the college circuit here at BYU. And BYU catches a break on the missed free throw by Yusuf as Aguera can't control it. And the Cougars will try and pay it off with the 5-point lead. Benali, the pass is tipped and stolen. The Cardinal earn it back. Haley Swain with the steal. To her left for Clardy. Bounce inside quickly to Eschmeyer. 1 dribble, hook shot, no good. Aguera with the rebound. Yusuf swats the shot while Aguera was in the air. Jump ball is called. Stanford with the possession arrow.
Now BYU has doubled up Stanford on the glass, but look at Aguera right here. This is opportunities. Even though it was a jump ball, this is where they've got to continue to earn extra opportunities on the glass. They're resetting the clock, I believe. They're gonna...
So the shot clock went to 30. They'll need to figure out what it was when Aguera went up for the shot and the jump ball was called. So an official stoppage. They're going to go to the scorer's table and make sure this gets rectified.
Yeah, they should reset at 18.
They asked for 18 seconds on the shot clock, and there it is.
On an offensive rebound, it resets to 20. Now, it was a jump ball. They called a jump, and that should reset to 20 as well. It stays with Stanford, possession arrow.
All right, Clardy will inbound with 18 on the shot clock. Ijiwoye, skip pass to Swain, and a pretty floater from the short corner left.
A great read from Haley Swain, the freshman, off the bounce. BYU's gonna run her off the 3.
Gibb asking for a foul on Yusuf, who is being bodied by the much smaller Ijiwoye. Well, now the foul call comes.
And Gibb said, all right, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna draw the contact.
One more look at Swain on the drive from the left side.
Well, the floater, had she taken one more dribble, gone any further, that would have been another charge. That Benali was in a great spot defensively, so the composure just to go up. And a turnover from BYU. That's the 6th giveaway now on the Cougars.
Benali throws it right to Clardy in transition, knows what to do. From that left corner of the key, knocks it in, and Stanford back within 1 at 23-22. Gibb.
8 points now for Stanford off those giveaways by BYU.
Yusuf matched up with Aguera, muscling away. Aguera with the swat. Tracked down by Yusuf. Back out for Gibb. Shot clock at 7. Gibb, crossover. Inside, tough shot. And Ncaa boxes out. Sprints to track it down. The Cardinal and Ogden can't take the lead just yet. Benali off the rebound. Quickly into a 3, that's long. And a foul against BYU on the rebound.
Yeah, that's a tough shot from Benali, the freshman. This is where you got to understand time and score, and you don't have your bigs around the rim yet to rebound. Ebola trying, but then she gets a foul call because she's trying to get that offensive rebound.
So Yusuf with the personal.
Aguera gets a much-needed breather. And she's a workhorse. She's all over, impacting the game.
Well, both Yusuf and Aguera, who leave the game breathing hard.
Yeah, this is a physical game. We've had a quick up and down pace, especially in that first quarter. It slowed just a little bit here in the second quarter.
Stevenson to Ogden. Ogden now with 9 points and shooting it very confidently. A 6-0 burst for Stanford to take the lead by 1.
And she's playing at a high level, very calm, wants the ball. And that's half the battle. Give me the ball because she's feeling it right now.
Brinley Cannon. Cut off on the baseline, skip past to Barber. 3 is well long. Skips off the glass. Transition opportunity for Swain. Clardy for 3, no good. Roca with the rebound. BYU now with numbers, 3 on 2. Gibb to Cannon for 3, good! How about this pace?
Big time shot from Cannon, setting her feet, getting in the corner, knowing that the defense has to make a decision. And she's shooting the ball at a high clip, right around 37% on the perimeter.
Cannon in postseason play has been particularly effective for BYU. Her numbers with a significant uptick. Back to a cut by Ogden. Lost it on the way up. Stevenson being harassed by Benali. Benali goes down to the ground and wins it. That gets a fist pump from her head coach. BYU 3 on 3. Gibb right at Ncaa. Give her a free throw as well.
The change of pace. And she slows down just a bit to get her back on her heels, and then explosion. But a moment ago, as we saw her making the right play in transition again, splitting the defense and finding her shooter. Gibbs doing a little bit of everything right now for Ncaa. She's got 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists.
BYU answers Stanford 6-0 burst with their own 5-0 run. This to give Gibb 10 points into double figures. You just saw AJ DiBonsa, BYU's consensus All-American on the men's basketball side, who made it a point to go to social media and say, hey, if you're in Provo, get to the Marriott Center tonight, support BYU women's basketball. I'll be there in the student section. In fact, basically the entire men's basketball team at BYU has showed up in support tonight.
Yeah, almost everyone here, and you have to love the support as their season is done, but supporting the women who are continuing and wanting to get next week to Wichita.
Haley Swain short on the 3. Rokel with another rebound. That's her 4th of the game. Gibb, crossover on Stevenson. And an offensive foul is called on Rokel. The official is signaling that she may have had a little hook action, and an illegal screen is called.
Right there, just trying to kind of checked Stevenson, and you can tell it impacted Stevenson as she took that hit. Essentially a moving screen.
Halfway through the second quarter, it's a 5-point lead for BYU on their home floor. The winner moves on to Wichita and the semifinals of the WBIT.
Full court extended pressure. BYU's going to run and jump it, try and double the ball.
Clardy. Oh, fans want a double dribble. She might have gotten away with it. Ogden left open for three. Can't pay it off. So BYU does get the stop.
And look at Bola Youssef run the floor, beating everybody down at the rim.
Brindley Cannon, red hot from the three-point line early in this game. It's an 8-point BYU lead at 32-24. The Cougars on a 9-0 run.
BYU 3 of 7 from the perimeter. Cannon has 2 of those.
4 of 5 shooting overall for Cannon. 20 points for Gibb and Cannon of BYU's 32. Shot clock running down. Eschmeyer, short Ogden. Good effort on the offensive glass. Runs into a wall with.
It starts with defense for her team. I'm sure that was also a topic at half. We've got to do a better job defensively at keeping BYU out of the paint off the bounce.
Yeah, when asked about the identity of the team, defense and rebounding. Rokel tried to go around Agera, couldn't finish with the right hand. Ogden, 11 first half points. Created an open opportunity for Swain, who passed on the three, drove it inside and was swatted, and now a foul is called after the block shot.
And that's what hurts you, not taking the shot when you're open, right? And Swain is just a 25% three-point shooter. She prefers to put the ball on the floor. BYU's playing the percentages. They want her to shoot it on the outside. That leads to that play for BYU, and we're going the other way.
Cannon, one dribble, out to Gibb. Quick trigger three, off the heel, no good, and Agera, second time we've seen her have a rebound, but not able to corral it and lose it out of bounds, giving it back to BYU.
BYU 3 for 10 in the first half on the perimeter. You don't want to get into that relying too heavily on the three ball, but this is a team that can be very streaky at the three-point line. They can put a lot of points on the board quickly when they catch fire.
Barber to Gibb. See that quick step, float pass to Rokel, who was on the baseline when she received it, and a turnover by BYU. Back to the Cardinal. That's BYU's 9th turnover of the game. Stanford with 5 giveaways to this point.
And BYU forced towards that baseline. Didn't have a lot of room to operate in their pick and roll.
Clardy kind of dribbled through some trouble, and Barber called for a hold on Ogden. BYU ramping up that pressure, commit the foul after Clardy split through the defense. You see Barber with her hand around Ogden, and the official right there to blow the whistle. Clardy. Gibb all over, handoff to Swain, and now Ogden. Agera bounces inside to Ogden, turns on Benali. Gets an offensive rebound of her own, and 2 critical paint points to start the scoring in the second half for Stanford.
Well, Benali does a really good job standing her ground, undersizing there, but she doesn't box out on the shot and leading to the offensive putback.
Rokel, the handoff to Benali, and another quick turnover by BYU. Swain going right at Gibb. Layup hits the underside of the rim. Now BYU trying to run the other direction. Gibb behind the back is bumped and fouled by Ogden. That is her 3rd personal foul. So how does Stanford and Kate Pay address the 3rd foul from their best player in tonight's game?
I think you got to trust your junior out there. She's experienced. They need her offense. They need her activity. But she's got to be smart. Know your importance out there on the court. You can't pick up another. A smart play from Delaney Gibb, though, and sometimes she just needs to go to work and create the opportunity.
Gibb drops in the first free throw. She's got 11 points. And make it 12 after both free throws go in for the BYU sophomore guard. 40-34, Cougars led by 6.5. It's back up to 6 now, but not for long as Ogden floats it home again. A game-high 15 points for Courtney Ogden.
I like her right in the middle to break apart that pressure. She's really good off the bounce at making decisions in transition. That time, just taking the shot, the little jumper in the paint.
Cannon around Ogden, off the glass, offensive foul.
I believe was that Agera that drew that foul? Hard to tell who took it, but what a play, getting in the right spot. This is body control right here. Oh no, coming over there.
Ncaa 3 fouls.
Yeah, and that's just sacrificing, getting in the right spot.
Does she leave her feet a little bit?
That's okay if she leaves her feet, as long as you stay vertical. So she can leave her feet, but she's got to stay vertical. That's where Cannon has to have better body control and shoot the floater.
Ncaa still letting the officials have it. Did not like that call on the charge.
And I still thought she was shifting a little bit to the left. So
ball's loose. And I believe that's Cannon at the bottom of the pile who has it. Jump ball. Stanford possession. And trying to cut into a 4-point deficit.
Well, BYU knows this is too good of a Stanford team. They're not going to go away easily. You're not going to be able to bury them easily, like we saw against Missouri, or what they did in their first round game against Alabama A&M. Like, they come back out with a lot of fire, make adjustments. A great coach.
Agera flips it to Ogden, who's had the hot hand from the free throw line. Off the heel, offensive rebound on the long rebound. Hamlin. A hand in the passing lane. Ogden with the dribble to Ncaa.
BYU's ability to switch right here, it just makes it so tough offensively to score.
Ncaa creates an open 3 for Agera, but that too is just long. Gibb wants to run with Cannon. Brindley Cannon unmarked for the moment. Bounces to Rokel. Off the glass and good. Brindley Cannon with the assist. And Rokel with the finish. Ncaa right back to work. Has her shot blocked. Barber trying to rip it away from Eschmeyer. Jump ball, and BYU earns the possession back.
I'm so impressed with BYU's intensity defensively and really trying to tie up every ball. The kick ahead, Cannon turned her head late. Lucky she caught that. And then the right play that time, not to run over Agera inside.
Tough catch by Rokel. And
yeah.
The finish, and Rokel back playing defense there with Gibb.
Maybe a little bit of arm there as Cannon went to the ground. It's been physical, absolutely physical. Both these teams hungry for a win, keep their seasons alive. This win or go home.
6:22 to play in the third quarter. Gibb scores it.
It's so good when she sets her feet, when she's balanced. Beautiful stroke. Gibb now with 14.
On the curl, had some space, and drops it in.
This pressure will not stop for BYU. This is a huge part of what Ncaa has instilled defensively.
Clardy, straightaway 3, got it! Chloe Clardy, along with Courtney Ogden, delivering again. She's got 12 points and has 2 of Stanford's 3-point makes tonight. There have not been many, but it has been Clardy. Rokel, left hand, bit too strong off the glass. Swain will go back to Clardy, who just knocked down a huge 3.
Stanford has come out this half, Spencer, much more patient in their offensive sets, getting better looks. Look at the kick ahead.
Olivia Hamlin was defending on the 3. Oh, but can't finish the fast break layup.
Tough angle.
Ogden, hesitation, dribble drive, swatted by Rokel, and is out of bounds as she went to recollect.
Third block for Lada Rokel, but let's take a look at the three-point shot, the ball movement. This is the 50th made 3 of the season for Clardy. And boy, have they needed it now. She got 12 points, 2 for 5 from distance.
She was really frustrated, thought she was maybe fouled on the 3-point attempt after that make by Hamlin. And the whistles stay quiet there. BYU with the 5-point lead. Gibb. It's Cannon. Missed the layup. Stays with it, trying to fight through the defense, and short as she tried to shoot it over Stevenson.
Screaming after that play. She's frustrated maybe some contact, but not finishing more so in herself.
Swain, quick first step, lost it, out of bounds to BYU. We'll take a break. 4:30 even to play in the third quarter. She's got 4 inches on Clardy and goes off the glass to give BYU a 7-point lead.
And you're tight as a post. Anytime you got a mismatch like that and you're that deep, take the ball up. Don't kick it out. Have the confidence to go up. This is going to be her position next year. Hers to lose. And with the graduation of roll call, it's going to be Boa Yusa.
Benali near steal. Aguera fights her off. Ogden from the free throw line. Got it again.
So good.
Courtney Ogden. 17 points to lead all scores.
Where she can just stop on a dime and just really good at getting quickly into her shot rhythm.
Gibb to answer back for 3. Long off the hill. Offensive rebound to Barber.
I swear you don't want to see BYU set up with threes. They're struggling to shoot the 3 ball in this game. 3 of 12. Don't settle. They were so good getting in the paint off the bounce in the first half.
Hamlin, quick move to beat Ogden and scores from the right side.
They need more out of the freshman. Hamlin comes in, 12.5 points per game. You already mentioned she's been struggling just the 2 until she hit that. Now she's got 4 points.
Answering back is Aguera. Well, points have been tough to come by. BYU's done a really nice job defensively on Aguera. Gibb. And the team's exchanging buckets on the dribble drive the last 3 trips to their respective sides of the floor.
Well, if you can, you don't want the defense to set up. And that's what Gibb was able to take advantage. She didn't have a help side defender. Here's Hamlin. She's quicker off the bounce. Just a little shake, shimmy, getting Ogden to shift to the right so she has an open lane. And we've talked about this before, Spencer. She might be quicker with the ball in her hands than she is without. I mean, just lightning fast.
Her speed has been a problem for opponents for much of the season. Ogden, this time just inside the free throw line, a little bit long. Benali collects the rebound with Roking out for her to grab it. Rokel running the floor.
How many bunnies are BYU gonna miss in transition around the rim? We saw Hamlin miss one, Cannon miss one. Those may come back to haunt BYU.
A little shy on the delivery there for Rokel after she put forth the effort to get all the way down to the other side of the 94 feet here at the Marriott Center. So it stays a 7-point BYU lead. Ogden has fouled. Every BYU fan letting their collective displeasure be heard.
Let's see if Rokel, right there, maybe even could have been a foul.
Could have been a foul there.
Let's see. Yeah, on the arm. And
there's some contact.
Credit to Ogden for initiating that contact, going into Rokel. That's where you almost have to over-exaggerate in the air.
Ogden with the game-high 17, make it 18. Courtney Ogden averaging 12.6 points per game this season, well above that average right now. 8 of 14 from the field, Kristen.
7 games with 20+ this year. Very capable scorer. 8 for 8 at the free throw line for the Cardinal. This is where they can really have success at continuing to chip away. Just a 5-point lead now, but the clock stops. You find yourself there, you're confident, they're successful, 12th in the nation at the free throw line, and you're drawing fouls on BYU. That's the 3rd foul now on Rokel.
Both teams in the limited free throws, shooting it well. BYU 7 of 8 from the charity stripe. Hamlin, tough shot, good defense by Ogden, cutting her off on the baseline. Stanford can cut into the 5-point BYU lead.
But they look much more in rhythm on the offensive side of the ball in the half-court set.
Ogden dribbled it off her foot, got it, tough move inside, Aguera. 3-point BYU lead. Some tough play by Stanford here in the last few minutes, and they're absolutely in this and hanging around. BYU has extended the lead out to 8 points several times, but have not been able to extend it. Yusuf on the back. Down on the floor, voicing her displeasure.
Emotions are high in this one, but take a look at Ncaa. She is strong, she is physical, off the bounce. This is her game. Facing up, getting to the rim, taking it against slower defenders. At 6'2", she's so versatile. And now in double figures, so 3 players for Stanford with that offensive balance coming in. There's 5 players that average double figures, and they needed all of that here against BYU. BYU, the 2-2-1 pressure, now going into a zone, mixing it up defensively. Ncaa said, we're going to try and throw them off in their half-court set.
Clardy. Ijiwoye gives it right back to Clardy with the 12 points. 4 on the shot clock. Clardy for 3 to tie, short. Yusuf. Well, I think she thought that something had stopped with the whistle blow, but it was just the shot clock expiring. Yusuf inside. Monster comes down low. Clardy ties up Yusuf. Some confusion there from BYU's freshman.
And rightly so, because the shot clock went off. It should have reset as soon as she secured that rebound. It really wouldn't hit the rim, but it should have reset. And just lucky they didn't get a turnover there, but instead, the jump ball, it throws you out of rhythm, too, for Yusuf. And she's trying to run the floor, and she's been put in kind of an awkward position to try to help bring the ball up. Needs to give that up.
Stanford can hold for the final shot of the third quarter if they choose. Swain trying to get around the pressure.
You see BYU throwing 2 at the ball.
Clardy with Benali guarding. 5 seconds, now 4. Ogden inside. Remains perfect from the free throw line as a team now 9 of 9. 2-point game. It was a 6-point BYU lead at the half. 38-32. Stanford clawing back here as Ogden makes both. 1 point and a 4th foul on Courtney Ogden.
That's a big-time foul drawn right here by Cannon. The right read to the basket. She gets her on the middle drive. You don't have help middle. Cannon now with 14 points.
Huge call right there on Ogden, who voices her disagreement. But wow. BYU some full court pressure. Swain and Clardy break it. The Cougars back out in front by 4 after Stanford had climbed within 1 to close out the third quarter. But the Cardinal have another push here late on the road. Clardy for 3. This would help. It's an air ball. Save to Gibb, but there's Clardy following the play, and she has an and 1.
And what a play, sticking with it. It looked like BYU was going to come away with this. An air ball and the pass from Gibb. I think Gibb was thinking, I'm going to step out of bounds. I got to tip this, and Cannon was just trying to run back.
Wow.
Massive play to stick with it.
Clardy just following the play, and it looked like BYU had secured the rebound for sure. The Cannon not looking. Gibb tried to save it back into her, and there is Chloe who finishes off the 3-point play. So a couple of and 1s to start for both sides, and it's 53-52 BYU with the basketball and clinging to the slimmest of leads. Gibb around Ijiwoye, picked up by Ncaa, cycled over to Hamlin. To Rokel, 5 on the shot clock, has Gibb, 3 on the way, good! Oh, the big-time performers stepping up for both of these teams. Delaney Gibb with 19 points. Swain, no good. Barber secures the rebound.
7 rebounds now for Barber. That's a big-time defensive board. BYU's getting the switch they want. See, they got Stevenson again.
Oh, come on! Back-to-back huge threes for Delaney Gibb. And the Marriott Center crowd rises. And then BYU making plays to push it back out.
In third quarter, they outscored BYU 17-12. Most of that coming to the free throw line.
Clardy for 3. Raises the backside of the rim, but an offensive rebound for Ogden.
Oh,
The officials are going to say that didn't hit.
I think it
thought
did.
for sure it did hit the rim.
It absolutely, you could see it change the trajectory of the ball.
Wow, I thought that absolutely hit the rim.
Well, watch this. It looked like it grazed the backside.
Absolutely hits the rim. But 8 seconds on the shot clock, so Stanford will not challenge that.
And BYU will say thank you very much, right? Take 12 off.
Clardy, blocked by Hamlin. It'll stay with the Cardinal, but again, only 2 seconds on the shot clock because
It should be at 12.
they missed that shot hit the rim earlier.
What a play from Hamlin. 5 blocks now as a team for BYU.
Well, how does Stanford deal with this? Critical possession here, trailing by 7. 8 minutes and 3 seconds to play, but 2 seconds on the shot clock. Ogden, lob, Aguera, no good. Hamlin running with Gibb out front, and she's blocked. Access denied as Clardy gets back to swat it out of bounds.
Boy, for how much offense and stellar plays we've seen equally good defensive plays, hustle back plays, knowing what's on the line. That's a big-time block from Clardy to prevent a layup in transition.
Hamlin, quick first step, fouled.
Well, she really hasn't been able to get into a rhythm offensively, but has found success with a little jab step or attacking the isolation from the wing. Hamlin with 4 points, averages 12.5 coming in.
Gibb and Cannon have combined for 37 of BYU's 59 to make up for a quiet night from Olivia Hamlin, who drops in her 5th point on the free throw. How about the free throw shooting from both of these teams? Stanford combined 11 for 11, BYU 9 for 10. Understandably, the pressure mounts from the charity stripe, and there is the announcer jinx.
There it is. Thank you very much.
Got that out of the way. BYU 9 for 11.
Without fail.
Stevenson back to Swain. One bounce to Aguera. At Rokel, spinning. Can't get it to drop, and a tough shooting night for Aguera continues.
Barber continues to clean up the glass for BYU. 8 boards now.
Delaney Gibb. No good off the glass with Aguera trailing. 2 on 3 for Stanford. Clardy, hesitation. Good move, but she can't finish. Track meet continues. Gibb behind the back. Barber can't finish. Who wants to make a layup?
Angles on the basket. Gibb. Then back-to-back Barber. Now BYU continues to push pace, though. That is going to play in favor for the Cougars. The crowd's behind him. A lot of momentum.
Ogden turns short. You wonder, she finally starting to tire. Legs a little weak. Hamlin left open for 3 straight away. Olivia Hamlin delivers a 3-point bomb for BYU.
7-0 run, now 10-0 run for the Cougars.
Game high lead of 11. Rokel impacting the play on a block shot. Crowd ready to get in a frenzy if BYU scores here. It's Gibb, no good. Rokel offensive rebound. And Ncaa says run a set play here, run some.
Try it out, see what they can get. They secure an offensive rebound, now set up a play. And
Gibb
a
on
turnover.
the bounce. And Rokel can't reach that. Turnover by BYU. The Cougars with the 3 from Hamlin extend the lead to a game high of 11 at 63-52.
She was surprised. She was left so open. It's a miscue defensively by Stanford. Now, if you're Stanford, you got time. I mean, 6 minutes is a lot of time, but they got to be more efficient.
What did the Cardinal have left in the collective tank? Eschmeyer, free air ball. Ijiwoye tried to save it in bounds. Her foot was on the baseline.
Stanford has missed their last 9 shots. Scoring drought of over 3.5 minutes now. And we go back to what Coach Pay told us. We got to get done defensively. This is where they have to turn the tide on the defensive side.
Gibb.
That should have been a foul. Hand in the back, that's the same call.
Loose ball rebound falls to Benali and BYU. The Cougars with their 15th offensive rebound. They're +6 in that category. Benali still can't find the mark, and she stays scoreless.
Missed opportunities for BYU to stretch this lead. And this is where, if you're Stanford, huge possession, take advantage. And they haven't been able to the last couple possessions.
Clardy inside the three-point line.
That's a settled shot. You didn't, that's
Long
not
two.
Right, you're tired. It's not a high percentage shot. Get to the rim.
Gibb sees it, takes it, can't finish. Both teams look a little gassed here as we dip under 5 to play. Stanford has not scored in almost 5 minutes. Eschmeyer cut off on the baseline, back out for Clardy, trying to change it. Misses badly to the right side.
We did not see misses like that in the first half from Clardy, and so fatigued, to your point, Spencer. I just think they're tired, right? Not thinking clearly.
Stanford has missed their last 11 shots overall.
This is what BYU does. They want to get you in a race match, up and down.
10-0 run for BYU over the last 4:30. But the Cougars have missed their last 4 shots. They're 1 for their last 8. Shot clock winding down. Gibb. And Ncaa fouls with just 1.7 on the shot clock and 4:03 to play. BYU in front by 11, trying to close this thing out and extend their season.
Delaney Gibb has absolutely been the leader. She's been stepping up, coming off that 29-point performance against Missouri.
She's got 24 now after she makes both free throws. And it's a 13-point BYU lead. This was a 1-point game going into the 4th quarter. Ogden can't find the mark. Yusuf with the rebound.
Almost traveled there. Just be balanced, come down, use your pivot foot. Stanford is not going to easily allow her to outlet the pass.
BYU has outscored Stanford, as we have mentioned a few times here in the 4th quarter, 15-3 on a 12, make it 15-0 run.
You cannot go under the handoff or the screen on a player like Delaney Gibb. She will absolutely burn you, as we saw there.
27 for Gibb. Agera fouled inside, was sandwiched by Yusuf and Gibb.
Now watch, they use Yusuf on the handoff, and Ogden gets stuck. You see both players kind of stuck underneath the screen. And Gibb said, thank you very much. Man down, hands down, I'm gonna take this 3. She's used to that in practice, game situations, very confident reading the defense off that pick and roll action.
BYU at one point was 3 of 10 combined from the 3-point line. They're now 7 of 18. They made 4 of their last 8. And Gibb has been the main contributor there.
18-4 advantage in this 4th quarter.
Agera makes both. Stanford still perfect as a team from the free throw line, 13 of 13. But it is a 14-point lead for the Cougars with 3 and change to play. Benali, how about that beautiful dime to Yusuf? Long 2 from Swain is missed. Clardy working hard to earn another opportunity for Stanford. Last touch by BYU. Oh, no look beauty.
Benali just playing downhill, so attacking the defender, making him make a decision. He had perfect timing on the pass. To her big for the finish.
Yusuf with 6 points now for BYU.
She's limping going into the locker room.
I hate to